Hey guys, let's start with new chapter of Loyalpin Volume 2, Chapter 41, News Announcement. Princess Padmika would like to see you, my lady. Bua, a close servant, informed Princess Alisa, who was talking with the Grand Prince and Princess Anel regarding the king's birthday party preparations that will take place at the end of next month. Please go invite her to come to this room. Princess Alisa was referring to the reading room of her eldest son's Burapaha palace, which was both grand and spacious. Therefore, it has been used as a necessary meeting room on many occasions. Yes, my lady. Bua accepted the command and rushed out of the room immediately. That's strange. Normally, your Aunt Pat has never met me on holiday mornings like this before. Princess Alisa turned to address to her eldest son and youngest daughter. Suspiciously, nevertheless, neither the princess nor the prince had any doubt, seeing that it was entirely normal for Princess Padmika to have business to discuss with their mother at a time when preparing for such an important event, until both of them looked over and saw Pilantita unwillingly follow Princess Padmika, sorrowful look into the room. Both the princess and the prince wondered about Princess Padmika's reason for coming to see mother during that time. Your Highness, Princess Padmika and Pilantita both curtsy Princess Alisa in a respectful gesture. Princess Alisa smiled and extended her hand, inviting Princess Padmika and Pilantita to sit on the luxuriously arranged guest chairs in the reading room. Both Princess Padmika and Pilantita were quite shocked when they found out that there were not only Princess Alisa and Prince Anantavut there, but Princess Anil was also there in the reading room of the Burapa Palace. Pilantita secretly glanced at Princess Anil, who was in a white dress decorated with navy blue and light blue patrons. Her thin waist has a small black belt. Her hair is loose and long down to her shoulders, and her full lips have dark red lipstick. Sitting with crossed legs on a long sofa next to her mother looked so graceful that it was difficult to capture. Nevertheless, it is this problematic tangible that the Pilantita so longs for. Is something serious? Your gesture seems strangely disturbed. I'm not at all anxious, sister. Princess Padmika raised her face to meet the older woman's eyes. I just have something to announce to you. Please tell me, I'm listening. Princess Alisa meant as she said, for after all, Princess Padmika had never made such an agitated expression before because, in the past, Princess Padmika had always had a calm and stable personality. She waved her hand for all the servants to leave the reading room quickly. After that, the Grand Prince went out to shut all the doors carefully, knowing what his mother wanted. Lord Kuakat came to talk about getting engaged to Lady Pin, Your Highness. Princess Padmika raised her head and answered Princess Alisa before casting her eyes on Princess Anel momentarily. Her beautiful face now looked solemn, like she had never seen before. Princess Anil cast her eyes at Pilantita in a moment that almost overlapped with Princess Padmika's following sentence. Still, Pilantita just kept her head down and looked at her own two hands, clasped tightly in her lap. The engagement time is very short. I'm afraid it's not appropriate because during that time, the palace must prepare for the birthday celebration of the king. Is this the announcement? Princess Alisa laughed. You can do whatever it should according to the auspicious time regarding the date and time close to the king's birthday, as long as it's not the same day. I don't see that being a problem. It's even better that there will be auspicious events in the palace next to each other. Hearing that, I feel much better. Princess Padmika's face became much more relaxed as soon as Princess Alisa finished her word. But Princess Anil's attitude was in the opposite direction. Her beautiful, slender brow was frowned upon. Her light skin was red, as if she had a fever. Her full lips pursed in a straight line, and her sharp dark eyes now looked as calm and unmoving as the surface of a deep well. Is this is the reason why Princess Anil has not seen Pilantita for over a week? There was only Peacoy, who prepared food and snacks. When she asked where Peacoy's boss had gone, there was no answer for her. At first, Princess Anil understood that Lady Pin might have something to worry about, like a young woman who felt neglected. Therefore, she had to ask Prick to send a small letter to reconcile like the past. But Prick walked back and forth without even a single letter in reply to her. The matter was much more severe than Princess Anil had expected. Why must you be in such a hurry, Auntie? At this time, Princess Anel's cold voice attracted all the attention to her. Nevertheless, the first person who dared to give protest to her was Princess Alisa. Anil, why did you say that? There is indeed nothing bad about Kunkua, Princess Anil ordered, even though in her heart she could think of thousands of disadvantages of Lord Kuakat. Nevertheless, the two of them had never seen each other before. Why did they have to get engaged so soon? How can you say that? They haven't seen each other before. I have seen him go in and out of Bua Palace for many years. He knows the custom, approaches the adults, not doing anything distasteful or ugly. Princess Elisa gave a long speech, wishing that her youngest daughter would think like her and stop thinking and saying nonsense that didn't seem to have any benefit to anyone. On the contrary, not only does her beloved daughter non stop, but her following sentence is also more profound. It wouldn't be called seeing each other, mother. It's called the satisfaction of Khunkua alone. He liked Khunpin's appearance and family background, so he approaches, which forces the other person to have no choice because he chose to approach an adult. Anil! Prince Anantavut, seated beside Princess Anil, reached out and touched his sister's elbow, wanting to dissuade her. But Princess Anil's back straightened immediately, showing no signs of surrender. Then there's no difference from women being a product for men to choose. Just talking a few words a month, would he have the courage to propose to engage? Anil! Princess Alisa's voice, which echoed throughout the reading room, indicates her anger that no one had ever seen from her in ages. Don't talk disrespectfully to your aunt like that. Princess Padmika gently exhaled while Pilantita's body began to tremble uncontrollably. She kept her head still and pursed her lips so tightly that they nearly bruised. Anil is probably familiar with Western culture, where before deciding to be a couple, one must learn each other's temperaments first. And most importantly, it must be voluntary on both sides. Mother, Prince Anantavat said, unable to bear it when he saw his younger sister, whom he loved like his eldest daughter, be scolded by his mother for the first time. Western traditions should be left with the Westerners. Why would it be a headache to practice it in our city? If a man and woman are suitable for each other in appearance, status, and family background like this, why should they deeply know each other much? When they finally get married, they will learn love each other. What if they married and still don't fall in love? Princess Anil's beautiful face arrogantly lifted. Who will be responsible for the rest of Kunpin's life, mother? Anil! This time it was Prince Anantavut who prohibited his younger sister when he saw Princess Alisa starting to search for a balsam from her bag. She caused a stir. Don't be so stubborn. The matter has reached this point, and Auntie Pat had considered it carefully. Princess Anil heard her eldest brother's words, but remained silent momentarily before running to meet eyes with Princess Padmika. She was silent for a long time and then spoke up again. Is this engagement your idea? Princess Anil's beautiful eyes continued to stare at Princess Padmika's sharp eyes, showing no signs of giving in. These are all the needs of young couples. Does this mean that is Kunpan's wish? Valantita remained silent, and as if the debate of the people in this room is not related to her. Of course it does. Princess Padmika seized the opportunity to answer on her niece's behalf, to repay her niece without the slightest hesitation. Is it true, Auntie? Princess Anil replied to Princess Padmika with earnest anticipation in her eyes. One thing I know for sure, this is not Kunpin's wish. At this time, both Princess Alisa and Prince Anantvat's eyes widened in surprise. Since time immemorial, no matter how clever and talkative Princess Anil was,
She was never aggressive with people who were older than her. Why did Princess Anna look so different this time? To say that would be like you're accusing me of lying. Princess Padmika's face immediately became solemn because she hadn't prepared to face Princess Anel in this situation before. I certainly don't mean like that, Auntie. Princess Anel's voice softened, but her sharp eyes flared, like she was looking for a reason. I say according to the cloth. Note, to say according to cloth in Thai idiom, it means to say as it's supposed to be. What's your cloth? Will it be the same cloth that I saw? That piece of cloth of mine represents Kunpin's feelings for Kunkua. Princess Anil smiled coldly. It is indeed rough woman cloth. Kunpin's feelings towards Kunkua are empty. And now Auntie is trying to take that cloth and dye it in any color you like. Princess Padmika's heart fluttered when she heard Princess Anil's words because she knew that what she was doing to her only niece. It was no different from the accusation made by Princess Anil. Nevertheless, the piece of cloth that I saw was the piece that was the feeling of Konkua towards Lady Pin. I saw that it was a fine, expensive silk that was full of value, that was worth of my niece. When avoiding considering a new piece of cloth, Princess Padmika wouldn't have to lie even for half of it. Princess Anil only smiled ruefully before meeting Princess Padmika's sharp eyes. She looked so calm that Pilantita didn't even dare to breathe. So then, can you see the cloth representing my feelings towards Kunpen? Princess Anil's statement attracted all eyes to stare at her disbelievingly. If you haven't noticed, permit me to explain. Princess Anil smiled gently at Princess Padmika. My feelings towards Kunpen. It is a cloth woven from gold and silver strands, one strand at a time, creating an intricate and delicate pattern. I spent more than a half my life tirelessly weaving it myself, for so long to shape them. Nevertheless, at this time, it was as if you were tearing that precious cloth without consideration. Even worse, you threw the cloth on the ground and crushed it with both of our feet. Anil! This time both Princess Alisa and Prince Anantavat suddenly exclaimed at the same time, significantly, when predicted that what's what from the conversation just now. Princess Alisa had to inhale the balsam more frequently without pretending. While the Grand Prince supported his mother with concern, he still couldn't help but get involved. Stop talking nonsense. I only speak the truth. Princess Anel spoke without fear of anything, while Pilantita raised her eyes to convey her request. Please say no more words. It is not that Princess Anel doesn't understand the message that the person sitting opposite her wants to tell. Nevertheless, at this time, she had made a decisive decision to move the chess that either was unable to be taken by the entire board, or maybe it would survive and barely win. What do you mean, Anil? Princess Alisa, still inhaling the balsam to maintain consciousness, asked her youngest daughter. However, at this time, she knew something so clear that Princess Alisa had no hope. I mean, if there should be someone suitable for Kunpin, Princess Anil turned her face to meet her mother's eyes with pleading eyes. The person should be me, not Kunkua. That's ridiculous, Princess Alisa said, wishing that everything was just a matter of imagination. How could that be possible? Princess Alisa turned to look at both the Grand Prince and Princess Padmika as if asking for help. Anil is a woman. Kunpan is also a woman. How can you be a spouse? Mother, please be patient. Anil is still young and spoiled. I'll negotiate with her myself. The Grand Prince embraced Princess Alisa with an expression of great concern, while Pilantita held back her sobs until her body trembled.
Don't let your reasonings interfere with other people's decisions. People have different reasons for their actions.
However, Princess Anil still raised her face even more, locking eyes with Princess Padmika, remaining silent for a long time. as if no one was willing to give it to anyone. How can I be patient, Anand? From time immemorial, whatever Anil wants to do, she wants. If it's her desire, she never hesitates to do whatever it is to get it. Princess Alissa, in the arms of Grand Prince, was in turmoil for her young daughter in a way that no one had ever seen before. Anil, the Grand Prince had no choice, so he asked his younger sister to turn her attention to him. This time, Anil must admit that the story is very impossible. No matter where you turn to look, I only see a dead end, therefore. There is only one way out, which you have to give up. The Grand Prince was reluctant to say so, even though inside he was seriously protesting that if the younger sister wished for anything, even if it were the moon and the stars, he would struggle to find it. But what she wants is many times simpler than the moon and stars. The prince had to pretend to ignore that wish. Princess Anna looked at her brother in pain because even if the whole world didn't understand her, she still expected her brother to understand. The Grand Prince saw his favored younger sister's side, but clenched his lips tightly in contemplation. How could I give up, brother? I was not born to endure to see my right is to become someone else before my eyes like that. Didn't you teach me to demand my rights to the utmost? Nevertheless, in this matter, it appears that I won't be able to please you. Princess Alissa spoke as soon as she saw Prince Anantavut's eyes soften in response to his younger sister's words. If it were anything else, I would conform you to anything. You know that. I love you more than my own life. Lady Pin is a woman just like you. I can't see a way for her to be your spouse. How will you marry each other? No one done it. I don't want to wed to embarrass you, brother. I only wish to be with Khunpin until we are old. Can't I do that, mother? At this time, Princess Anil touched Princess Alissa's wrist like a young girl begging her mother for snacks. It's impossible. You are a royalty. One day you will have to marry another royal family. Father is looking for a suitable partner for you. Princess Alissa spoke about the king, intending to make her youngest daughter slightly afraid of her father. On the contrary, in that case, I'll resign from my royal status to end all the matter. Anil! Princess Alissa exclaimed, completely unconscious. Do you know what you are saying? I know, and to do that, I'll resign from my royal status and take Khunpin away to live elsewhere. Immediately after her words, Princess Anil stood up without any fear. Still, Pilantita moved from her chair to prostrate herself at Princess Anil's feet before sobbing, unable to hold it in. Princess Anil, please don't say that. Pilantita touched Princess Anil's feet cherishingly, even though she kept crying until she could barely speak. Do not abandon your royal status for me. Don't do that. I will marry. I will marry Kunkua. That's it for this chapter, guys. And I'll see you next with chapter 41. And thank you all from bottom of my heart for subscribing me. Thank you.